I'm Jeremy Jensen with Grassroots Powdersurfing, and today I'm going to teach you all about powsurfing. We'll go over the semantics, the things that make powsurfing so special and so unique, and some insider tips on how you can have the best powsurfing experience possible. So first off, what is powsurfing? Well, powsurfing is the art of riding down snow-covered mountains with absolutely no physical connection to the board. This means no straps, no ropes, no foot hooks of any kind, no form of binding whatsoever. And a powsurfer is a special type of board that's designed to do exactly that. Powsurfing is 100% hands-free and binding-free. Simply put, a rider, a board, snow-covered mountain, and gravity working together in perfect harmony. Just as a surfer rides the ocean and a skateboarder rides the streets, a powsurfer rides the mountains, unattached to the board using just balance and skill. So if there's a rope or a handle in your hand and you're using that to steer the board or hold the board to your feet, you're not really powsurfing. Maybe you're snurfing or snowboarding or riding some other type of device. Could be a lot of things, but it's not powsurfing. What sets powsurfing apart is it is completely binding free and hands free. By eliminating the binding or the fixed connection to the board, you're now truly riding a board and riding a mountain. Double the pleasure. Risk becomes elevated, skill refined, satisfaction increased. Small terrain suddenly becomes big, and what is mellow becomes intense. A whole new relationship forms between judgment, foresight, execution, and success. The rider is forced to elevate their perception and judgment. Challenge is increased, and with that greater challenge comes a far greater reward. This is an extension of everything you've learned over the years of snowboarding, a familiar skill and familiar terrain. But now the training wheels have been removed, and you're back to square one, just a kid learning to ride again. And those familiar feelings from your childhood come rushing back, and you're reborn. Yeah! We call powsurfing the fountain of youth for a reason. And as soon as you get out there and ride, you'll understand why. Shit, boys.
Shit, that's good.
That was insane. So why do we call it powsurfing? Let's take it back to the beginning. We've been riding our creations, what we now know as powsurfers, for a couple of years, and we needed to give our newfound activity and our boards a name. Back in those early days, we'd only been riding these boards in powder, and we'd always referred to it as surfing the pow. So the term powsurfer was a natural fit for the boards, and powsurfing a natural fit for the activity. It paid tribute to the roots of what we've been doing, and it was descriptive. We decided to use the terms powdersurfing and powsurfing interchangeably. Powsurfing rolled off the tongue best for us, but we didn't know if people outside snowboard culture would even understand what pow was, so we spelled it out for them, and we used those two terms interchangeably. Many years later, some people began to refer to powsurfing as snow surfing, but we've always been against that. The word snow surfing describes a style of snowboarding with bindings that originated in Japan and has been frequently used by the Japanese and those in the know since the 1970s. It's a beautiful style of snowboarding done with bindings, and it's distinctly different from the style of snowboarding that came out of the US and other countries. Legendary Japanese snowboarders like Shinzo Tanuma and Taro Tamai had been using the term snow surfing for decades to describe their style of snowboarding and to market their snowboards. In our minds, they own the term snow surfing, and it would be disrespectful to create any confusion with that term. So powsurfing is powsurfing. It always has been and it always will be. Another common mistake I see is people spelling powsurfing as two words. It is one word, powsurfing, just like skateboarding, snowboarding, splitboarding. All those terms are one word. Back in the early days, I remember seeing words like skateboarding and snowboarding spelled incorrectly with a space in the center in kooky magazines or newspapers that just didn't understand skateboard or snowboard culture. And that always made me giggle. Today, it's no different with powsurfing. I see it misspelled all the time, and I get a little roll in the eyes and a little chuckle and shake my head and think, get with the program. And yes, your spell check on your computer is probably adding that space in the word powsurfing, but spell check doesn't know powsurfing like we know powsurfing. Powsurfing is the thing. It's powsurfing. One word. Get it right. So powsurfing. Yes, it can happen in non-powder snow, such as slush, mush, mank, and even lower angle packed and groomed slopes. But the goal is to surf powder and good powder whenever it's available, as that's the best feeling on earth. So anyone who powsurfs will tell you it's all about the feeling. So let's talk about feelings. It's difficult to describe what makes powsurfing feel so amazing and so satisfying, but I'll take a stab at it for you. I think part of it is the increased focus and awareness it takes to do it. Your mind and body have to be more present in the moment and your concentration more honed. It requires a lot more balance and skill to ride a board that's not attached to you at the feet. And it's that disconnection from the board itself that creates a deeper connection between the rider, the terrain, and all the elements around you. You'll begin to notice more subtleties in the snow itself, and all of the terrain you encounter will inherently possess a lot more challenges. Perhaps this is why even just making basic turns on a slope is so satisfying. And every bit of new terrain you decide to try to ride is another level of fun and skill that is unlocked. It could also be the simplicity of it all. Jump on a board, rip down the slope, jump off and pick up your board and walk back up for more. You're not fiddling with equipment or getting in and out of something because the only equipment is this board that you're balancing on. There's also something about having your feet free to move anywhere around the board. It just feels more free, and as a bonus, all those variations within your stance make for a different feel in your turns, as well as the bodily adjustment required to balance to ride in that certain stance. There's also the fact that powder surfers feel and ride so much different than snowboards. The way they turn is just so much different, aside from the fact that you're not even strapped into the board. Something about powder surfing just feels more natural. There's less fighting against the fall line of the terrain, and more embracing and riding with that terrain. When you're powder surfing with the flow of the mountain and listening to the subtle suggestions of the terrain ahead of you, things just feel more right. There's a number of other things about powsurfing that feel so great. And to truly understand those, you just got to go powsurfing. All right, let's talk about powsurfing on a powsurfer versus a snowboard with a pad on it. The difference between riding a properly designed powsurfer and a snowboard with a pad on it is night and day. A proper powsurfer will handle a wide range of snow conditions. Dense, wind-whipped snow, dry powder, settled powder, slush, Sierra cement, recrystallized old snow, heavy wet muck. As long as the snow has a bit of softness to it that allows the edges to sink in, you can generally powsurf it. Developing the skills to ride in all these types of conditions comes with experience, and choosing the best terrain for each snow type is important as well. One thing is for sure, you certainly won't be riding a snowboard with a pad on it in any of these snow conditions we've just shown you. Powsurfers will differ from snowboards in a number of different ways. A powsurfer will have a three-dimensional base, it will often be wider, and its outline shaped for a more set-back stance. It will have a different rocker profile, longer nose lengths, different flex. There's a number of differences between snowboards and powsurfers that allow the rider to be able to ride that board completely binding free. While trying to powsurf using a snowboard with a pad on top can work in the most pristine, deep and light snow conditions, it's a lost cause trying to ride something like that without bindings in the infinite variety of snow types outside of those conditions. So don't be fooled by a snowboard company that puts a pad on a snowboard and tries to market it as a powsurfer. A gimmick like that will not serve you well. Riding a properly designed powsurfer is going to make all of the difference in the world in your powsurf experience. Just like in snowboarding, it all starts with linking turns and flowing with the terrain. Progression can come in the form of riding bigger terrain, steeper terrain, or more technical terrain, or beyond that, taking to the air. And all of these present a whole new challenge when a rider is not strapped to the board. To take it to a level further, progression becomes infinite when you fully embrace the disconnection between the rider and the board, and you begin to spin and flip the board under your feet. The beauty is there are so many ways to achieve that incredible sense of satisfaction that powsurfing brings. It's up to the rider to decide which style they want to explore. The mountains are a huge playground, offering massive varieties of terrain and features to inspire you to express yourselves within them. But the fact is, you don't even have to be deep in the mountains to enjoy powsurfing. You could be in your backyard or a golf course or a sledding hill. There's so much terrain for you to explore. In areas that may not have a lot of feature-rich terrain, it can come down to having fun on a simple bump in the snow. Creativity is king and the key to turning even the most simple terrain into an epic playground. Powsurfing completes the trifecta of the most pure board sports on earth. We started surfing the oceans, completely binding free. Then we rode skateboards on the concrete, completely binding free. And now we surf the mountains, completely binding free. Each of these activities comes with a learning curve and requires dedication, skill, and a oneness with the elements. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to check out our other videos offering tips and techniques for beginners and intermediate riders, and our video on how to access Powsurf terrain, where we'll go over the ins and outs of a variety of the best backcountry access tools to help you get to the goods. We also have videos that will help you seek out and find the best Powsurfing terrain possible. We have how-to videos that will help you with things like waxing your Powsurfer and basic repair of dings and other damage. And of course, we have hundreds of high-action Powsurf videos to get you hyped on Powsurfing and showcase various styles of progression and riding.